Hello folks, Marco here, coming at you from a very big rehearsal space, as you can see. And if you haven't noticed, the intro that you just saw was shot in summer. Now it's winter, I'm not wearing my t-shirt anymore, and my beard is very long. So you will see some clips that don't match with each other, but bear with me. Today we're taking a look at another NK headless guitar. This time a 6-string. Now this is a semi-custom order. In other words, I asked for some changes on top of the stock model, even though you can't have anything that you want. If you follow me, you know this is the second NK that I bought. The first one is a 7-string, let me grab it. I made a complete review about it, so if you're interested, go check it out. Obviously, if I'm here with another NK, it's because I like the first one very much, and I already got a good opinion about them. But before going through the specs of this one and hearing how it sounds and so on, I wanted to tell you some more infos. Especially because a lot of you guys have reached to me on different social platforms asking a ton of questions about anything really. So I wanted to address them all here, hoping to be helpful to some of you. If you want to just hear how it sounds, check the markers below and skip ahead. Now I'm gonna talk about the process of getting this guitar. So if you're not interested, I will see you later. So first, where can you buy an NK? Let's say you're not interested in a custom or a semi-custom order. You can basically go on Aliexpress and search for the NK guitar store. I've heard people also talking about finding them on eBay, but I went straight to the source. Then on the NK guitar store you will see the stock models that are available. You choose one and you buy it. It's very straightforward. If you want to make some changes, you can chat with the guy, because it seems to be a one-guy operation. And you can talk in a very basic English, but you'll always ask to provide photos or pics to better understand what you're saying. As I said in the previous video, the communication is not great. You must have a lot of patience, and most important of all, you have to be very clear. Of course, your experience may vary, but I went through it 2 times, so I will just report how things went with me. I started talking about the body and I chose older. As you can see, this is a 2-piece body. I'm not sure 100% that this is actually older. If you guys can recognize it, write me in the comment section. In some spots there is some, I don't know. The grain looks like mahogany, but I may be wrong. I'm not very familiar with the look of the grain of older. So if you can recognize it, write me in the comment section. Hi guys, Editing Marco here. I was trying to explain the color, the finish that I wanted, but then I found the exact chat that we had on Aliexpress. So to be even more clear about it, I'm gonna let you see. He sent me a direct link to an image of a guitar he previously made, and this is the color, the finish that we agreed upon. And then my answer for confirmation was yes. Then I went on talking about pickups, because I was a little bit worried about this image. As you can see, there is a straight humbucker, but more on that later. Back to the video. But obviously something went wrong. Also, it's showing some dark spots where I placed my hands, and on the bevels there is a yellow thing that is coming out, and I don't know if it was the sealer of the ash, but this is definitely ash, so for the top, halfway there. Then the main feature, the scalloped neck. Here I insisted a lot because this is the main reason I bought this guitar in the first place. 24 stainless steel frets on a roasted maple fretboard. It looks amazing, it feels amazing, and with these very nice round edges with the frets, I also asked for a different fan or no fan at all, but he told me he couldn't do it. So I guess he has, like everyone else these days, a CNC machine, maybe with a specific program for each model, and of course it's not going to change every little detail you're asking. But it would be nice to know it first, because when I chose the HS configuration, here I am 100% sure that it was very clear. I even made a Photoshop image of this exact model with both slanted pickups. Don't know if he didn't understand, or maybe he didn't want to tell me another time, no, I can't do it. But I got a straight humbucker and a slanted single coil. It's not a deal breaker, but it's not what I asked for. Then very quickly for the neck, I went for the stock model. So Wenge Bubinga with the teardrop shape that I fell in love with the semi-string that I got. So no problems there. Overall, there are no deal breakers for me. It's very close to what I wanted, and taking into account also the price, I'm happy with it. But I would suggest to you to stick with the stock models available, especially if you're someone that cares a lot about getting the exact thing that he asked. Maybe I was very bad at communicating with this guy, but I think it's important that you know this could happen, and so make your own choice. One last thing about the price, you'll have also to pay customs, and that is different for each country, so do your own research on that. In this video you have listened to me playing the guitar in the context of a full mix, so I used a lot of plugins, EQs, compression, saturation, and so on. So now let's hear it isolated, played through a real amp, so that you can hear some more detail and you can make an opinion about it. Let's start with the clean sounds. That sounded pretty good to me, but going on, I discovered a very big jump in terms of volume between the humbucker and the single coil. Don't get me wrong, it's to be expected, it's normal, but when I was using the Neural DSP Gojira, I think it was not so drastic, it was not so apparent. So I thought to myself, well, there is a jump in volume, but I can manage that. But then playing with the real amp, I changed my mind. Listen for yourself. We can't skip the lots of reverb, delays, and crunchy ambient thing. now let's hear some higain tones through my EVH 5150, as I did for the cleans, and I'm using this amp because I like it very much, and I know it pretty well. So I know that it will give a pretty true and honest representation of how this guitar sounds, or this pickup for this matter. And I've got my EQ section with everything at noon, and I'm starting with the gain at 3 and the volume at 4, presence at noon again. Going through my Torpedo Studio Live, I have a 4x12 mess oversized with an SM57 in front of it, and I'm going through the red channel. I mean, it's sounding pretty good, maybe a little bit too much on the low mids, so let's turn down the lows, scoop a little bit of the mids. That's how I like it anyway, and turning up the highs, presence stays right there. So my 2 cents about this instrument. I think that overall I really like this guitar. It's really lightweight, it's comfortable, the neck is between a modern C and something that reminds me of a Jackson maybe. It's balanced. Then there is the scalloped fretboard that I asked. I know it's not for everyone, but I fell in love with it. It has triggered something in my playing that maybe I should talk about in a separate video. It's really interesting. And then there are those frets that are perfect, are amazing. I don't know if there is such a thing, but maybe there is a CNC involved even with that, because the rolled edges are literally spherical. Too much precision to be a work by hand. Those are amazing. And with these 3 things, I think it's worth the price, in my opinion again. Because don't get me wrong, there are a lot of cons. I didn't want that color. I didn't ask for the placement of the bridge humbucker like that. Even the placement of the jack, actually, it's not ideal. When I'm playing in a classical position, the jack is always against my right leg, so it's bothering me a lot. I don't like the neck single coil, it's too papery, too dry. I don't know if you know what I mean by that. And again, there is a big volume drop between the humbucker and the single coil, but that was to be expected. But here the needle, to me, it's the price. If the price stays the same, because I've seen it going up, then the value is there. And if you're not paying too much for customs, then you will get a nice deal, I think. So I hope you liked the review, you enjoyed it, if you made it so far, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers!